I'm Denis Burger, VP Commercial Partnerships and Business Development. We talk about domestic. We expect it to rebound first, and that's because international travel will keep being constrained for a longer period of time. It will take some time for airlines to resume their old schedules. Some travelers will prefer to remain closer to where they feel that they are part of their health system, can speak their language, etc., because they have an increased sense of need for safety. And then secondly, we also see that actually domestic travelers have quite different travel patterns from international visitors. Starting with the US, you will see for US, Germany, and UK always a breakdown by city and a breakdown by category. So you always will see the domestic travelers, in this case, domestic US travelers versus international travelers to the US. And you generally can say that domestic travelers, they're visiting more cities. They are also visiting smaller mid-tail type of cities. In this specific case, you see especially a difference in Chicago and New Orleans between domestic and international. Looking at the categories on the next page, you again see that there are quite some substantial differences between the type of categories or the type of tours and activities that domestic and international travelers do. The domestic travelers, you see their activities spread quite across the different categories, and in the international, you see a higher concentration around city cards. So basically, them attempting to do more things at the place in one go. And also having a higher share of day trips, which they are then typically doing from this place where they're staying as a hub. And you will now see exactly the same type of trends also illustrated for Germany and the UK. So Germany, again, a difference in the cities that are visited. Next page, again, this similar type of difference in what kind of category is booked by domestic versus international travelers. And the same is also true for the UK. So moving to the next, you see again a more even distribution of the cities that are visited, although of course, in case of the UK, London, even for domestic travelers, claims the main share. Then in the categories, you again see, albeit in this case less nuanced, a lower share of city cards and a lower share of multi-day trip. Point number one to walk away with is domestic travelers visit a larger number of cities, which could present an opportunity for you if you want to reach the domestic travelers. We see that city cards and day trips are more typical activities for those that try to make everything quite condensed and are not as popular amongst domestic travelers as they are for international ones. And we see that domestic travelers seem to prefer attraction walking tours and city cruises. We actually will make more concrete data available. What we can share is basically a domestic travel preferences report. We will start with the top 25 booking countries. We can share index demand data for the type of cities or the cities that are visited, the categories that are booked, the points of interest that are visited, and the tours and activities are done